Hey, what's good? January 6, 1973, ABC aired the first episode of 65 episodes of Schoolhouse Rock. Since it seems like many of you have forgotten what America is all about, we're about to revisit The Great American Melting Pot by Schoolhouse Rock. Before we get into it, remember to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some clothes that I think would look good on you. Let's go. Ooh, I know you guys are going to like this one. Well, most of you guys will probably like. Some of you little racist dum-dums will probably not like this one that much. But this is Great American Melting Pot. Great American Melting Pot. Let's go.
My grandmother came from Russia, a satchel on her knee. My grandfather had his father's cap he brought from Italy. They'd heard about a country where life might let them win. They paid the fare to America and there they melted in. A lovely lady Liberty with her book of recipes and the finest one she's got is the Great American Melting Pot, the Great American Melting Pot.
Let's take a look at the ingredients. Armenians, Africans, English, Dutch, Italians, Chinese, Poles, Irish, German, Puerto Ricans, Portuguese, all the things. Greeks, and shout out to the Cubans. See what I mean? They don't play things like this. We'd have to figure out why they stopped making things like this. Something tells me that this, specifically this frame here, does not line up with a lot of views with some of the people that are in power currently. And I believe that's a problem. Let's get it.
America was founded by the English.
But also by the Germans, Dutch, and French.
The principle still sticks, our heritage is mixed. So any kid could be the president.
You simply melt right in. It doesn't matter what your skin, it doesn't matter where you're from or your religion. You jump right into the Great American Melting Pot.
Notice what she said. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter, not even your religion. It's not supposed to matter. You're supposed to have enough protections to be able to figure out who your best self is. Shouldn't matter. Especially religion. There's a lot of religious freaks out here trying to make religion like the government look more like religion. And no. All the religions should be, protected. You should be able to study and just live your life however the hell you want. Not just one religion. As a matter of fact, the forefathers wrote the Constitution to protect religion and to keep religion out of government, specifically so you wouldn't alienate other religions. For example, when I was a kid, we went to church on the Sabbath. Saturday. No, I'm not Jewish. I grew up Seventh-day Adventist. A very strict religion. To this day, I have yet to, with the exception of someone saying, well, we worship on Sunday because we celebrate the day that, or we recognize the day that Jesus rose from the dead. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but when did God ever say it's okay to worship on Sunday? According to the Bible, it's Saturday. So if you want to go a little deeper than that, like if I was Satan and I wanted to trick God's people into breaking the commandments, one of them is, remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath. It belongs to God. You are to take that day off and you are to relax and you are supposed to chill. Saturday. Never, 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 never did he say Sunday and it's okay to be Sunday. That is man's decision. And there's a lot of you guys that like to talk about the Bible and you guys like to talk about how it's the word of the law and all this stuff. You like to make a big deal of gay people going to hell and you like to talk about all this stuff. All this stuff. According to me, y'all going to hell because you are breaking the commandments. Now, what if I'm wrong? What if it was okay for you to worship and study on Sunday? If I was president, let's just say I was president and I wanted to be a real jerk about it. And I said, nope, we're going back to the old school way. We're going to church on Saturday. If you don't go to church on Saturday, you go to jail or. Wouldn't that be unfortunate? I'm forcing you to do something that you don't want to do. Maybe you do want to study on Sunday, or maybe you do want to go to church on Sunday. Maybe that's your day. I don't know. What if I'm wrong? But I'm forcing you to go on Saturday. And what they're trying to do now, it seems like they're trying to inject religion into the control of the people. So then what? You're going to tell me that I now have to go to church on Sunday? To me, that's breaking God's law. I don't want to go to hell because you guys are trying to force me to go to church on Sunday? Do you see the slippery slope? Do you recognize the slippery slope? What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? All of you guys going to church on Sunday are going to hell, in my eyes. In my eyes. Because, well, let me say, in my religious eyes. If I were to put on my religious glasses and going off of what the Bible says, the Bible never once does the Bible say it's okay to go to church on Sunday. It's very, very strict. It put the Sabbath in the 10 commandments, the 10 go-tos. If you have any question about eating shrimp, eating pork, if you have any question about mixing fabrics like leather and cotton, all of those things, shellfish, all of those things supposedly are rules in the Bible. All of those things. But those are like scattered about. The 10 go-tos, the one you guys are breaking. And then you're going to tell me that what they're doing today in the government is okay. You mean to tell me that they're going to force their Christianity on us? You see the slippery slope?
Great American melting pot. Ooh, what a stew, red, white, and blue.
Not for anything, but that's a lot of white people in that
America was the
melting pot.
new world,
Not one black
and
person in
Europe
there.
was the old.
Big ass fish.
America was the land of hope, or so the legend told. On steamboats by the millions, in search of honest pay. Those 19th
search of
century
honest pay.
immigrants sailed to
In search of honest pay? Y'all better turn around. Ain't no honest pay around here. America is not the place for honest pay. It's the place where you come and they try to convince you to work for cheap and or free because their business plan is terrible.
reach the USA. Lovely Lady Liberty.
Yes, ma'am.
Her book of recipes, and the finest one she's got is the great American melting pot. The great American melting pot.
Greeks,
What
Mexicans,
good ingredients,
getting all-
liberty, and immigrants.
Look at even
They
the. There was a guy on there. He had what you call it? Jihad. What's that called? He had a turban on, and he was still white.
the country's
Maybe they had limited color palette.
customs, their language and their ways. They filled the factories to the soil, helped build the USA. Go on and ask your grandma, hear what she has to tell. How great to be American and something else as well. Lovely Lady Liberty with her book of recipes, and the finest one she's got is the great American melting pot. 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 The great American melting pot.
You see? You see? And you wonder why they took this stuff off of TV. You wonder. Because this, when I was a kid, this used to play kind of all the time. And you, especially in the community that I come from, we had everybody. I went to, especially where I went to high school, shout out Roosevelt High School. But we had everything. We had white people, black people, Chinese people, Japanese people, Indian people. What was that? My guy. One of my friends was a Palestinian dude. One of my best friends was a Syrian. Now, those are biblical people that don't have a homeland anymore. But they came here, and from what I saw, there was a small community of Assyrians that lived happy in Chicago because they came specifically for that, for a better life. But then what you do is you commune with the people that you're used to, or the people that, that you come from. You can just exist, but then like share your culture with other people. That's the part that everyone continues to miss. You're supposed to share your culture, and then you pick the cool parts of the different cultures, and then you build towards a better life. You build towards a better country. And taking things away from people is not the answer. Is actually exposing them to the different cultures, exposing them to the different people. So it's not as scary. And the media makes everything worse. The media talks about black kids in Chicago shooting each other, and all this stuff. The majority of the people that I know, the majority of the black people that I know in Chicago, I can't get them to not go to church anymore. Or to, hey, let's go hang out. No, I got to go to church. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? They're always at church. They're always at church. And the media says, hey, there's a guy over here that shot someone. And you guys think that it's the whole community. It's one person. It's one person. It's just like when, some white dude goes and shoots up a church. Does that mean that all you guys are shooting up churches? Does that mean that all you guys are violent? Does that mean all you guys are racist? I don't think so. I think there's some folks that might be a little trepidatious about other cultures because of what they see on TV. Everyone thinks they see my mustache and my beard, and when I put my sunglasses on, I look cholo as hell. I do that on purpose. to desensitize you guys and to break whatever silly spell the media has on you guys. And then you guys listen to all these hate mongers, Stephen Millers, the Donald Trumps, the JD Vances, all these merchants of hate, and you guys relish in it. And it's all for naught. You're just wasting time. You're wasting energy. It's not supposed to be like that. We're supposed to be celebrating. I love German food. I love going to England. Italian food is my favorite. Next to good Cuban food. But yeah, it's up there. All that to say, we should be sharing with each other's cultures, because that in itself, this experiment, the American experiment, is that, like, we're supposed to build each other up and be the example for the rest of the world. And all we're showing them is hate. All we're currently showing them is hate and greed and everything that's bad about this society. But we're not celebrating ourselves. We're not celebrating great food and interesting music and learning from each other. Learning from even something as simple as how to handle the land that you live in. Like, you might not know how to deal with the soil, but there's someone who grew up somewhere that's good with this soil. And you're going to shut them down because of the color of their skin, whatever, and they can actually make your life better. Let's wrap this one up. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with each and every one of your friends. And if you want to come hang out with me, watch videos while I work on creative projects, hit that subscribe button. Change the little bell icon so it says all. That way, every time I come out with something new, you'll be alerted. Don't forget to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some dope gear. And with that,